Hello everyone and welcome to another Lorcana video. Today we're taking a look at another deck I've sort of thrown together and had some good success with, and maybe a deck to keep in mind if the meta's getting you down a little bit. This deck has basically been built to be maximum disruption whilst keeping the pressure high on board. So let's take a look at it. It's going to be Amethyst and Emerald. Some of the basic packages you can see here are, guess what? The Amethyst bounce package with card draw. So we have the Olaf in there to fill out the one-drop slots, and also his Inkable, great target for the Madam Mims, of course. We have the Merlins with the rabbit and the goat for obvious reasons. Rabbit for the card draw, goat for a decent sized body, but really just to sort of create lore out of nothing, especially with that bounce package in the late game. Maleficent's in there with friends on the other side as well to help again with that card draw, and the Queen's Castle is in there at the top end, curving all the way out to a big 4 with this deck, and it's the location I've played the most and I feel just feels the most flexible, the most playable location without really needing too much setup, a lot of which is down to the only needing to pay 1 to move a character there, which I think is very, very powerful indeed. To round out the Amethyst, we do have the Rafiki in there. Again, this is version 1 of this list. It's been doing well, but there's definitely been some changes that I could make and test things out. I've been speaking to Howling and speak to Kawa about it as well to see if there's any big things that jump out from them. But the Rafiki was mainly in there to just have a good option to answer either annoying locations or awkward characters on board, sort of to deal with just kind of as a surprise factor more than anything. So not only do we have the Mims, but we have the Rafikis as well. Now, since that is a fairly standard Amethyst, that's like your Amethyst starter kit right now, let's take a look at the Emerald inclusions here. And this is where the deck really sort of pops off, honestly, even though there's just a few Emerald cards. First off is Cursed Merfolk. This is really powerful, uninkable 1-drop, but when you play it, you know it's going to almost certainly get to quest for 2 at minimum. And also, early on, if you play it as your 1-drop, it can quest and then be a good bounce target for Mim to then replay later. Or if it quests and you don't bounce it, your opponent has to discard if they want to trade into it, and this is where the disruption starts. Following up from the Cursed is Ursula, the 2-cost Ursula for Emerald, which is the 1/3 that, of course, when you play it, you can see your opponent's hand, and you can discard a song of your choice, which is very, very powerful, as you well know. There's so many good targets right now. On one hand, you've still got, the Be Prepared, the Teeth and Ambitions, those kind of targets, but on the other, people are playing the Jafar with Whole New World. In those decks, there's Grab Your Swords, there's potentially a Storm Rage On, and so on. In any Amber deck, a lot of Amber decks are still running songs. It's just a good card, basically. And again, a decent bounce target for Madam Mim Fox, or even if you're a bit late, Madam Mim Snake, to be able to just say, okay, every now and again, I'll check your hand and get rid of a song. Because I feel like songs are one of the more impactful ways people can interact with your deck. Next up is Kit Cloud Kicker, again in terms of that disruption. This feels like a very shift-heavy meta, or it does on Pixelborn, and Kit is really nice in just noping cards away. Yes, they can only have 2 attack or more, but it can get rid of the 1-drop Robin Hood, can get rid of the the Morph, there you go, I nearly forgot the name of that card, can throw Morph away if they've not shifted on it yet, and really it's just a solid disruption card, especially against aggro, because if they pay play out a Maleficent, a Pinocchio, yes, you might want to have dealt with it by then, but being able to just say, no, I'll pay 3, get rid of it, and I still have this card on board. Kit can sing the 3-cost or less songs that we'll get to in a minute as well, and it's another decent bounce target if you can keep just pushing back some of these low attack threats. Next up is one of the surprise factors for me. Lyle Tiberius Rourke is a 2/4 that has a couple of very powerful abilities. He is uninkable, which is the downside, but other than that, he's pretty hard to kill if you don't quest with him, because he's got 4 health, that's quite a lot. 3 to 4 is like the break point for most things. And when you play this character, chosen opposing character gains Reckless during their next turn, just like Silver, right? But along with that, he also has, whenever one of your other characters is banished, each opponent loses 1 lore. So basically, the idea is make your opponent have to trade with something and then the thing it'll trade into, your thing may die, because again, this is not a very sort of tanky list. As you can see, most things have 3 or less health. If it dies, well, then they're 1 lore down, and they didn't get to quest if they wanted to, because normally you want to target cards that they either want to keep alive and not quest to benefit from their ability, or target cards that would quest for a lot. So instead they can't, they have to make a trade, so they also don't quest and lose lore. So it can really help with pulling yourself back in games or propelling yourself forward in games. So really surprising card. I thought I'd give this a try because I think I remember Kawa saying he liked the look of it, so I tried it and quite liked it. Also, again, worst case, can sing all the songs in the deck. Then, speaking of songs, we have the 3-drop Ursula, an absolutely incredible card. The only legendary in the deck as well, so if this comes out and it's a good deck in paper, then it won't be too bad, I guess, to just get all the 4 Ursulas and the rest should be fine. Incredible card. You play this, and we can sort of, I guess, jump to the songs that are available, which are mainly Friends on the Other Side. So Ursula on 3, Sing Friends. You draw 4 cards, which is obscene, right? And just lets you just get further and further ahead of your opponent. There's Mother Knows Best to bounce 2 cards back to your opponent's hand, or if you really wanted to, you can target your own cards. So if you want to target your Merlins for either reason of lore or cards, fine. If you wanted to even target your 2-drop Ursula to then replay it if you need to try and snipe a song from your opponent, that's possible. You can bounce Kit to rebounce, although that would kind of do the same job. But there are other options, but still, tap Ursula to sing Mother Knows Best and bounce 2 targets is an incredible tempo shift. So Ursula, great. The Strike a Good Match, I'm still messing around with it. I'll be honest, I ink it more than I play it, but it's there as just a backup if you need to just filter cards quickly and just get to, whether it's a Merlin, Rabbit, Maleficent, Friends, just to get the card draw going. But it's there as mainly a backup where every card in the deck, apart from the 2 1-drops, can sing it, so it's kind of a nice flexible tool. And then, yeah, I think that's it. We kind of touched on the songs as well. Again, this list, I'm not saying it's the best list in the world, but at the moment, I feel like it's ticking boxes. I've played a fair few different matchups, and it is disrupting a lot, really. You've got the big bodies in the terms of Madam Mim, Fox, and Snake to be able to sort of fight with the Rafiki, and then you've just got these sort of bounce and annoying problems that your opponent has to deal with, and they do start to stack up. The Queen's Castle, again, I'll touch on, but some of these more combo-y based opponents don't often have good ways to deal 7. So if you can play Queen's Castle and then have the ink to just put more cards there for more card draw, it does start to stack up and gives your opponent more problems to deal with. So again, Queen's Castle, the one location I played the most and the one that feels the most easy to play and to get value out of. But yeah, that's the whole list. I think the list looks weird, but it's kind of fun to just cause problems for your opponent, make them not able to quest, and so on. And even though this list itself doesn't really quest for a lot, you're disrupting your opponent so much that a lot of the time I feel like it doesn't matter. You get there sort of eventually. But yeah, that's the list. Let me know if you try it out. I'd love you to try it out. Offer any suggestions. Again, this is definitely version 1 of the list, and we'll see how it goes and see if there's any big changes. But yeah, that's what I'm playing at the moment. I love Emerald. I've played Emerald since set 1. I was thinking of playing something not Emerald this set, but this is feeling good. Ursula's very strong. Lyle's really strong too, so we will have to see. That's going to be just a short one today, and I'll try and find some more decks for you guys for next time. Thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time.